Well, it's definitely a day for Tarantino fanatics. The day they've been waiting for. It's Wednesday. I'm standing outside the Lighthouse, and yes, it has arrived. Once upon a time in Hollywood. Is it good? No, it's great, but it's terribly, terribly sad. There'll be times that you wondered, is this really a Tarantino movie you're watching? Because it slows down. There's a scene, for example, between the lead, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, where he talks to a young actress sitting outside an old Western set, and you say, is this really the pace and the fast and furious Quentin Tarantino that we know from Inglourious Basterds? And the answer is yes, it is him. Because as I was joking to my partner as the movie ended, this is a dirge, it's a funeral film. It's about the death of old Hollywood. And you don't race a hearse on the way from the church to the cemetery. Hollywood is laid to rest, old Hollywood, with all dignity, with all due ceremony, and with enormous affection. And I don't think anybody else, alive or dead, is more qualified than Quentin Tarantino to do the honours. It's an extraordinary picture, amazing performances by Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. And Margot Robbie, although she's said by many critics not to have had sufficient exposure and sufficient narrative in this picture, that's a criticism I would dismiss. She says and does exactly what she should say and do, and she provides a fitting elegy for a promising young actress so tragically and brutally and senselessly killed. That really is what the picture is about. It's about how a kind of romantic Hollywood was replaced, first of all disinterred to a disused Western ranch in which the Manson family hung out, and then finally killed off altogether in that terrible night of slaughter in the end of the 60s. An extraordinary picture, and what is a bonus, although I was aware that it was shot in 35 and also a little bit in 16 and even 8mm, I didn't realise we'd have the privilege of seeing it in old-fashioned sprocketed film here in the Lighthouse, as indeed we do in the IFI. Sony, who distribute the picture here, weren't even aware that it was going to be shown old school in the Lighthouse or anywhere else, but it is, and it shows. Film has a different character and a different quality. Brilliant cinematography by Robert Richardson, who's shot Inglourious Basterds, and I do hope that wherever you are, here or abroad, in Ireland or abroad, you'll get a chance to see it old school on a 35 projector. So one other little note too, that Quentin Tarantino, in saying goodbye to the old Hollywood in this picture, may also have revived Hollywood. He may have revived not just the traditions and the genres like the Western, the spaghetti Western, the revenge movie, the heist movie, but thanks to him and Martin Scorsese and a few other pioneers, Kodak may still continue to make 35 and even 70mm film. Whether or not as many cinemas will be as ambitious and as careful to stay true to his vision and project in 35 is another story, but we do know that film, the art of film, and I mean celluloid, is going to continue, not just because there are great stories to tell and great people to tell those stories like Tarantino, but due to him and the people who are backing him, the actual format, actual celluloid film will continue to survive and to exist. And to me that beats digital any day. And even if it doesn't, it's a different art format. Just like acrylics should never replace oils, we should never have to say goodbye to celluloid. Well, it's hello and goodbye from me. Go and see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.